Okay, if there isn't one way that I can share about my vision here, is that the best thing you can do for yourself is that just to never allow yourself to be doomed by your mind and your own expectations. I feel like for the form of doing For the Love Studio, for the time I've been investing in my project, for the old trials and tribulations that I've been going through, I found so many ways on judging myself for not perfect action that I'm taking into, right? And that can be like a case of me withholding myself from certain point of actions or withholding myself from the certain point of success. It usually goes like very smooth when you're trying to grow into something. You usually face a lot of challenges, right? And the best thing that I can say about that is that if you actually want to make something as a tangible element, you gotta be creative in terms of be like creator. You can't just be acknowledged by the idea that, listen, I want to make this, but it's gonna take a certain time and like certain efforts from you, right? Don't expect something to be built up from the scratch. It's not gonna be like that. It's gonna take a certain time, certain hit points where you gotta be like, all right, if I wanna make it, I gotta take it, I gotta go and take my actions towards this. There's not going to be a perfect plan beyond of you creating the perfect plan towards that, right? I usually used to mistake myself from the point of let's say I want to achieve something, right? And a lot of times I've been withholding myself from this point, a certain point of success. Let's say I know that I have to go to this appointment to get something, right? But I would say so many of the ways to myself and so many voices I will put in my head to say hey, listen, this is not the perfect time for this now. Let me withhold this. Let me be doing this in a perfect way. And that's the problem, is that the only perfect time comes when you actually know how you invest your time into, right? So don't acknowledge the idea of everything has to be perfect at the same time. It might go for the certain follows and tribulations, certain paths. But the best way you can do for yourself is just to acknowledge that this is just a part of the game, everything that you do is a part of the game. So you gotta be acknowledged by the part of the game. You gotta be acknowledged by the idea that, hey, listen, whatever you do, it's gotta be certain taking action on this point, and you gotta be certainly acknowledged by the idea that nothing is gonna work out as the way it should be, So always propose yourself to the higher abilities that you can have. Always propose yourself to the higher chance of you getting the success. You gotta be acknowledged by the idea that I would say even the law of detachment, that's one thing that I use into my day-to-day. There's one thing that I learned about this thing is that if you want to achieve something, let's say you want to achieve a certain level of success by this age, now you visualize that into your head and you say hey, this is the thing that I really want to achieve, I can't wait, I have to be here, I have to do this. And now you put a lot of trials and tribulations and fails onto yourself automatically, because it puts you in position of you just trying to achieve something that is not really feasible. So instead of doing that, instead of putting yourself in a constant mood of pressure where you pushing yourself towards something and you don't getting it back, be acknowledged by the perfect idea of that, you just gotta take a certain right step. You just gotta be certainly knowing where you're heading to, because when you're hitting into right location, the right times will come. That's the only way that you can propose it. You can't be just proposed by the idea that, it's gonna take me a certain thing and etc. Be acknowledged by the idea that, listen, it's gonna take a time, I'm not perfect, I'm trying to be perfect, but life treats me like this now. So instead of me focusing on so much of the outcome that is out there, let's say investors invested in your company, or anyone found the value in you, don't be discouraged by that. That's a trick that it puts you on, because now you are attached to these outcomes and you're attached to these results, rather than be stepping up back and be okay, this is something that I want to achieve, but it's gonna take me a certain time. So instead of focusing my mental triggers on this one, and instead of being attached to this thing, be really positive about the power of the outcome. Be positive about the idea that all you control is that your own capabilities. All you control is your own actions. That's the most important part. Don't be discouraged by these people that say you you just gotta be attached to your outcome. You gotta be locked in. Yeah, you certainly have to be locked in on the certain part. That's not even a thing. The best thing you can do for yourself is just to know that, listen, if I want to achieve this certain point level of like success, aka this one, I gotta be really into my mind. I gotta be really focused on one thing, and then one thing will grow. It's like a flower that you see in the garden, right? There's no any perfect flower that can be there beyond of that the one that you planted, right? So make sure that you plant the right flower, and the right flower is always planted with yourself. Because if you lose the idea, if you lose the momentum of the idea, aka you lose the consciousness on all this bullshit that these people play out you, saying that you gotta have success at your 20s, you gotta be really this. Like, man, you're gonna be run through the obstacles, and you're gonna be always judging yourself for the not taking AK perfect action. There's no AK perfect action. There's only one action, the know that you have to do. Like, if you, let's say you have to meet these partners, you just go and meet them. There's not gonna be a perfect time, man. Like, nothing is gonna be aligned. Trust me, I've been this guy that always believed in the perfect time, perfect moment. Now I just have this idea in my head back that, hey, listen, there is no perfect moment beyond of you just creating the perfect moment and going forward for that. That's the only way you gotta go. There's no other ways around that you have to be like playing on, because you're playing this game of like, oh, I just gotta go for the perfect moment. I just gotta be like in the perfect zone. No, only perfect moment is the one that you create. You are the father of the perfect moment, no one else. You've been trying to play this game of like, the perfect moments is just not aligned, I'm gonna be delaying this. Yeah, but I guess it's like, it's a wrong game, my friend. Like, you're gonna be running through obstacles. There's the underdogs that are building something and never taking this thing as granted, you know? So if you are not underdog and you're like on this pedestal where you think that you're already there, don't be discouraged by the outcomes. Don't be discouraged by the stupid idea that all you do is just for outcomes. All you do is serving the purpose that's been built for you. That's the most important way. If you serve your purpose purposefully, and you know that this is done for the sake of your purpose, trust me, nothing gonna stop you out. I know so many times I've been tempted by the idea that I'm not perfect yet. Let me record one song more. Let me record one video more. Let me redesign my clouds. Man, that's always puts you in the overthinking state. Overthinking state is the most dangerous state that you can be in. Trust me, and let me explain why. Because when you are on overthinking state, that puts your mind in a constant like overrunning, you know? It's like a computer that has been placed on so many searches and browsers that now overheating the thing. So instead of searching one thing, now your brain's searching for everything. It's craving for attention. It's craving for the dopamine. Don't get discouraged by that, because it's a certain dopamine that you get sent by visualizing the outcome. And that's why I hate these mood boards. I believe this is just bullshit, because that way you place something on the pedestal saying that you like attached to this thing. Don't be discouraged that. I guess the outcome is the most important thing. I guess, and I agree with you, like, I've been like this too. I've been always pushing for the higher things, for the higher moments. But like, the one thing that really keeps me going is that I just know for a fact that if I put my mind into proper things, the proper things going to be aligned to me. And I'm not going to be discouraged by the idea of the perfect world, perfect moment. I'm just going to be keeping it raw, you know, I'm keeping it raw, I'm keeping it authentic. I've been building this texture of an image for the last 5 years, maybe not so actively, right? And the reason why I learned from my mistake, I haven't been building that actively. I've been taking so much days off when I was like overthinking state of places. I've been overthinking the state of like, how can I propose my brand? How can I propose my music? That puts me in the constant pressure of like, man, there's no perfect moment beyond of just how you gotta go, how you gotta be. That's the only perfect moment. That's why results aren't showing up, because you are thinking too much. Think too much, get so less. That's what I say every time, like, to myself, you know? Like, don't be discouraged by the idea that there's a perfect world. I guess it's not existing anymore. I've been following a lot of people who are not even editing their videos before they post on YouTube. And I'm like, alright, I've been taking this YouTube content stuff so seriously for a while. I've been recording things, I've been editing them, I've been like constantly like on this pressure of like, I gotta edit more, I gotta post more. Now it's ended up being like just me talking with the camera, and that took me a while to realize that I've been wrong on my own positioning of YouTube. I've been wrong on my own thinking of the YouTube. That's why you gotta be like really knowing why you're going for this certain stuff, why you're doing certain stuff. You can't be just doing stuff like this, and like this. It's not gonna be like that, man. From this time, I acknowledge that you have to take actions, not based on the outcome, but based on your purpose. Law of detachment is the greatest thing that you can develop. I've been developing that for a while now. Can't lie, been a bit sleepy on my mindset for a while now. But it all comes into resolution that I've been just focusing so much on the outcomes. The long board, the mission board, I had it on my wall board, but I wiped this completely off because I found out that this is not about that. This is just knowing that there is a purpose inside of you that you have to serve in. That way you will feel that you're on the right track. That's how I propose this with For the Love Studio. I never propose building my company for the sake of results. I propose it for the sake of the purpose and love that I'm spreading into the world. And that's the most important thing that I guess you have to hear tonight before you scroll to another video. So make sure you follow us, stay on the right track with us, and I'll see you in the next video.